This video is about how to prepare if you are thinking about going to an ayahuasca retreat. So the first point is that, ayahuasca is kind of known for around the world as being kind of a drug. I know it's illegal in New Zealand. It's known as being a hallucinogenic, a psychedelic, but the thing is, in South America, they consider it to be a traditional medicine. It is not just a drug to have fun on. And so basically the worst thing you can do is just do it for the hell of it because you feel like it's, you've heard good things about it and you're in that side of the world, and why not? You need to know why you're doing it. So you need to know what it is you're trying to heal, what trauma hasn't been processed, like what is it that you're actually trying to get out of it. So actually sit down and ask yourself, why am I doing it? Like, what's my intention behind it? If you've been struggling in the past a lot with depressions or addictions or things like that, or different traumas, or something happened to you, that's the reason to go and do ayahuasca, not just because you think it's some fun thing to do in the jungle. The second point is that you need to research the place that you're going to. So make sure that you find a place that has got a good reputation. It's actually got traditional healers and people that come from a lineage of ayahuasca, not just self-proclaimed shamans that have decided that they are now reputable to be healing people. You have to make sure that you go to a right place that has good reputations, and also it doesn't have to be expensive. That's the other thing I want to note, is that don't feel like you have to pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. You don't. It's become quite commercial. The two most profound ayahuasca experiences I've had in my life were very cheap. Like, they were like $300 for one, $400 for another one, and they were deeply life-changing. So don't feel like that you have to spend thousands of dollars in order to get a really life-changing experience. The next thing that you have to do is make sure that you prepare in advance for it, because the thing is that you can't take, for example, if you're on antidepressants or something, or some other kind of medication, you actually can't take ayahuasca at the same time. And in order to stop taking certain medications, like antidepressants, for example, that takes time to wean off. You can't just suddenly stop taking them. You have to stop over like 6 weeks maybe, or 8 weeks. And along with that, you also want to completely avoid any other street drugs, alcohol, basically any kind of other medicine or intoxicating substance. So you basically want to just clear your whole system out leading up to the actual event. Next up, you want to make sure that leading up to going over there, you go and get your vaccinations. That might be something that has kind of slipped by the wayside that you haven't thought about. You kind of just like get all excited and pack your stuff and go. But obviously, going into the jungle, there are different diseases there, namely yellow fever, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, malaria. So make sure that you actually consider that you probably will need vaccinations before heading into the jungle. Next up, you need to also make sure that you learn some language. So this is another thing that you should prepare a couple of months in advance, because places like that where they serve ayahuasca are pretty much quite far into the jungle. Like, you need to go into like remote areas of Colombia, remote areas of Peru, some places in Brazil. I mean, there's different places, but basically the point I'm trying to get at is that it's mostly served in places that do not speak a lot of English. So you are going to really struggle if you try and go there not knowing any Spanish. Like, what I did was, leading up to the first time that I went over to Peru, I downloaded Duolingo on my phone, which is like an app that teaches you Spanish. I think it's free, and you can pretty much just like, it teaches you Spanish. Like, you could just play around on it, every night, just have a go at it. So make sure that you do try at least to learn a bit of basic Spanish before you go over there. Otherwise, you are really going to struggle. Most places will have, if you don't have time for that, most places will have at least one English-speaking facilitator, so you won't be completely stuffed. But it is still a good idea to know, because even like just, like getting there, like, at the airport, or like in the Uber, or like, you know, just get direct, like even getting to the place is gonna be a little bit of a struggle if you don't at least just know some basic, like, you know, words to like get around and stuff. The next thing that you need to do leading up to it is to detox your diet. And this is really important because, you know, ayahuasca is a really strong thing to take, and it doesn't interact well with certain things like chili or meat or dairy. So in the few days leading up to it, you know, so you've done all your stuff, few days leading up to it, you want to make sure that you abstain completely from chili, meat, dairy, caffeine, and other like excessively fatty stuff. I mean, if you take it anyway, just be like, oh well, I don't care about that. Like, you're gonna throw your guts out. Like, it's gonna really just make you feel really sick and nauseous, and it's just gonna, the whole thing's just gonna mingle up badly and just make you feel really sick. So for your own experience, you know, experience, try and avoid it. You probably are still going to throw up anyway, but at least it won't be as bad. The next thing is that you also have to completely abstain from any sexual activity, including masturbation. And also you have to not be on your period, or at least the first 3 days of your period during the experience. And that's because there actually is a reason behind it. It's not just they're trying to be dicks about it. Like, it actually does like mess up with like the spiritual side of it somehow. And the last point is to don't do it only once, because you're going to be doing yourself a disservice. I've seen a few places that advertised as doing like a one-day ceremony. This, in my opinion, is not a good idea. For like the experience that I had, I did it actually I did a 2-day thing. So I did it a whole first day, and then I went and stayed the night somewhere, and then I came back and I did a whole second day. But the whole first day was so bad. When I say bad, I mean like ayahuasca actually shows you your problem, whatever problem it is that you're dealing with. You can actually see it, you can feel it quite deeply in your body. You can end up just feeling so sad. Like, I felt really sad. Like, I was just, you know, crying a lot, and I was vomiting, and I was having diarrhea, and it was just messy. Like, it was just quite bad. So, but the thing is, you know, at the end of the first day, I went away, and I was just like, I don't even know. I don't even think I want to go back. Like, that was horrible. Like, I'm never doing that again. But the people at the place, they told me, they were like, no, actually, that's quite normal that you have quite a bad first day. But then when you come back on the second day, it can be a lot better. It can be a lot more like positive, and a lot more like, you can feel a lot better at the end of it. And that is pretty much what happened to me. I went back on the second day, and it was a beautiful experience. You know, I just saw beautiful things, and I felt so much better in myself at the end. I think I could probably make a whole different video on what my ayahuasca experiences were like, but the point that I'm trying to get to is that don't do yourself a disservice by only taking it once. If you're going to do it, at least do it twice. At least go for the 2 days. Preferably 3 or 4 days is actually ideal, but minimum I would say would be like 2. So yeah, if you want to hear what my experiences were like, I can also make another video and get into detail about, you know, what I saw and what happened for me, etc, etc. But for this video, those are my best things to take into consideration for when you are going to prepare for ayahuasca. So good luck on your journey. If there's anything else that you want to know, I don't at all claim to be an expert. I'm just somebody that has taken it a couple times at a couple different places. So also obviously do your own research and see if it's for you. And also a disclaimer that if you do suffer from certain mental conditions, you actually can't take it because it's too dangerous. So do make sure you do your own research, and yeah, subscribe if you find this at all helpful. Okay, thank you. Bye.